place, and it's me on top of the world. I am King Kong. Drop the gate. I hear the chariot coming today. I am King Kong. I'm King Kong. I'm King Kong. I'm King Kong.
Everybody get up.
I'm King Kong, beat my fucking chest. I don't feel the pressure, show the world the best. I endure the pain, let the gorillas out, ignore the chains. Now all my niggas out, thou have forsaken me. Finally back making heat, cooking like a bakery. Now there ain't no breaking me down. Where my ancestors wish that they could see me now. I'm the best, no question, ain't no testing me. From the 80s, got this generation crazy. Cause good music rock, boy, you think I was with Shady. Shout out to my niggas getting young money. Still I'm trying to get that old money. Oops, I mean that royal money. Haters these days are so funny. Ha ha ha. False as shit, talking shit, blah blah blah. You can't beat me, why you gotta try? I'm a fame monster, Lady Gaga, and I ain't gonna lie. Try and get mine, I wouldn't be fly. I'll be back in the project hallways all day. Now I'm just lying, I would grind till I get mine. Dipped in gold and diamond rings are so fat. All my kings from every hood finally living good. We've come too far to go back. Yeah, so drink up, drink up. We ain't promised tomorrow, we only promised this bottle of the finest Moscato, and I'ma live by that motto. I may just fly to Cabo, ding dong, ring the bell of a fabulous model. I'm King Kong. 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 Down my face, and it's me on top of the world. I'm King Kong. The gate, I hear the chariots coming today. I am King Kong. King Kong. King Kong. King Kong. King Kong. Found our place. Now we're on top of the world. We are King Kong. Drop the gates. I hear the chariots coming today. We are King Kong. We're King Kong. We're King Kong. We're King Kong. King Kong.
What up, Nick? What you doing, dude? Yo, Nick these days. How you doing, boss? How are you doing today, Nick? Yeah, I won't be doing that, baby. Let's check those scores. Bam! There we go. There we go. What up, Nick? Man, everybody playing that goddamn Modern Warfare 2. I'll tell you what, Cletus. I'm not gonna not wasting 70 bones on a game I'll play maybe 5 times. Maybe 6. It just doesn't sound fun for me. So I figured, we'll see. I might actually. There we go. What is up? There we go. Put it over on the other monitor. Let's see what we got all out here, baby. Got G Money. They're all playing that Modern Warfare, and I won't buy it. I was going to. I seriously thought about it today. Thought about it. And then I thought about better of it. But I tell you what, man, we're gonna have some fun today. I figure I'll play for about an hour. I know I gotta message Fuzz. Anyway, yeah, man, what about the scores? Right? What about the scores tonight? Let's take a look at this real quick. Let's take a look at some ESPN. Ooh, that's bright as shit, man. Settings. Can I go to night mode? Appearance. Well, why is this not? Why? I want dark mode on my thing. How do I do dark mode? There it is. So that goes to dark mode. It's just the pages don't go to dark mode. Let's check out the scores real quick. Dub, what is up, dog? How is your day, sir? I don't want top 25. I want everybody, man. This isn't gonna work for me to be Googling this or looking at these web pages with the bright white light. It's just not gonna work. There we go. I should be watching that game. I should be watching the Florida-Georgia game. Holy shit, K-State just stomping a mud hole in Oklahoma State's ass. Look at that. Wow. Louisville. I always thought the ACC was overrated. I mean, let's be honest. I did. I thought the ACC was severely overrated. Yeah, I got it. Let me Google this. Because this is in dark mode right here, right? Let's see. Let's see what this one's all about.
That don't have a native dark mode feature, my new favorite extension is Dark Reader, which is available for Chrome and Firefox. Unlike most dark-themed extensions that create a custom dark mode for individual websites, Dark Reader creates a dark theme for the sites you visit without having to install custom styles or themes. It basically just inverts the bright colors on a website, making them easier to look at without all that white light.
Yeah, there you go.
To customize Dark Reader to better suit your needs, you can select the Dark Reader icon. Here you can switch from dark to light mode, make changes to the brightness, contrast, sepia filter.
Because I go to settings. And I go to dark. But the web pages are all Dark Reader Chrome extension. I don't like putting fucking add to Chrome. Let's see. There we go. There we go. I like that a lot better. Now I can make a full page again. And then I can shrink this up a bit. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm looking at, though. There we go. There we go. I'm going to check the scores real quick. I'll play a couple games, do a lot of talking and a lot of shit talking. A lot of... Yeah, there we go, baby. So Florida, looks like Florida pulled their head out and is putting up a game in for Georgia. Of course, Oregon was going to work. I'm surprised it's this close. Oklahoma State, I called it. I said Georgia needs to be on the lookout. Right, I should be watching this game. I watched a couple, but I had to work today. I'm supposed to have yesterday and today off. And hunting season's here, so man, my business, thank God, is popping. So it's good. You're not gonna hear me complain. But no, I don't believe so. I haven't seen them yet. So we got Georgia, Florida, and I thought Georgia should be on upset alert. But let's. I'm gonna keep track of that. I should be watching. I might even pull that up on the old phone here. Oklahoma State, and I said this. I think Kansas State can really beat them. I didn't think it was gonna be beat down 41-0. Are you shitting me with that noise? Nebraska. This one I'm shocked at right here. The Wake Forest, but I don't think the ACC is that good. I'll be honest with you. I don't think the ACC is. I don't think they're that good. And I think Clemson's overrated this year. I don't even think Clemson is in the top 16 best teams in the country. I know they're undefeated, but I don't think they're in the top 16 or 6 teams in the country right now. I think the University of Utah would beat Clemson. I just don't think the ACC is that good. I mean, they're getting a mud hole stomped in it. What's time's left? 30 seconds in the third. And then Illinois, Nebraska's, God, man, what a travesty over the last 15 years fucking Nebraska's become. Cincinnati's in a dogfight with UCF. That's expected, though. UCF's not bad. New Mexico State. Oh, well, they're playing UMass, so that never mind there. Temple Navy, SMU, and Tulsa. App State. God, they've had some really good games and some really bad games. It looks like Kentucky starts in about 30 minutes. The Michigan State game. I know Michigan State's on a downswing, but man, that game's always tough. It is in Ann Arbor though, so I want A&M to work the shit out of Ole Miss. The guy that I went to high school, or I played against in high school and college, by the name of Jackson Dart or Brandon Dart. His son is now, and he was a hell of an athlete. Brandon Dart was like, oh my God, he played at Northridge High School and here in Utah up in Layton. And so his son, it was a 5-star quarterback, came out of Corner Canyon High School here. I think he was 5-star. Anyway, went to USC, did well there. And then once Riley came, he transferred because Caleb Williams is just a different level talent. I do want to see him good. But every year, no bullshit, every year they try Mississippi State, A&M, and Ole Miss. Every year they try to rank them. And every year they just suck dog water. So let's see here. Let's check out the rest of the scores. We'll burn through them. So this Ohio State, I don't know if anybody watched this. The Ohio State-Penn State. Holy shit, man. It was a great game up until the 6 minutes. I think Ohio State scored 28 points in 6 minutes. It was disgusting. TCU snuck out with a wham. The SEC is the SEC, and joining any SEC, Oklahoma and Texas are going to have a rude awakening. But, there's a level of okay, they're going to the bigger conference or chasing the dollars. But stop trying to fucking rank them, though. They're not good. Texas A&M might have the most talent out of the last 2 recruiting classes, might have the most talent in the country. But I'm sorry. Every year since Johnny Manziel, they try to rank them, and it's stop ranking Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and A&M. Stop ranking them, right? Fuck it, let's go with Missouri. Let's do the show me state. Show me something before I start ranking you. Every year they try and rank them. Notre Dame stomped a mudhole in Syracuse's ass. Holy shit, man. And Syracuse, I was overly impressed with them this year. I didn't. Well, I mean, Notre Dame's not dog waters. They're still Notre Dame. They have great, great talent. They just had some really bad games. I'm shocked that UConn's actually doing well. Holy Toledo, they won. There's Bud's home tape. Man, Miami. And Miami's another one. They try to rank Miami every year, and Miami's not very good. They haven't had a good team and I don't know how long. Right? Let's see, who else do we have? So we have, and then of course, Utah. So Utah, my Utes, go Utes! They won, and it was really. I'm surprised Utah won. Pullman is not an easy place to play. Washington State is not a dog. I know they're 4-4, but Washington State is not a dog water team. They actually are a really good team. It was only 21-17 for the Utes, but their starting quarterback was out. Their number 1 running back was out. Their number 2 running back was out. Then they lost their number 1 offensive threat, period, in Dalton Kincaid. They lost him. He had a shoulder injury. They lost their safety for a targeting call in the third quarter. And there you go. There you go. What a great weekend for college football. Let's go. So, Dub, I sat down. I didn't have a lot of time. And usually when I do like a talk session, I like to know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's very important for me not to just be spitting shit out my ass. And so I kind of had some ideas and I wanted to research them a little bit better. So we're going to be kind of finding out a little bit as we go. I did research Admiral Byrd because I wanted to get some validity to who he was as a person, right? And so I actually went and researched him because I mean that's kind of a big sensationalized claim, right? It's a huge claim in Antarctica. So he's flying over it. And he's saying, hey, there's green grass, there's rolling hills, there's a big hole, and it has a city. And that's a big claim. That's a big claim that the video that I saw. I couldn't find anything online. First thing I did is I researched him, right? And I found out that he was a pilot in World War I. He was commissioned to go and fly across the North Pole, go to Greenland, and then fly across the North Pole. And they said that he accomplished it, but in his diary that his son, after he passed away, he found his diary, his son published it, and it sounds like they missed it by about 150 miles because of an oil leak, right? And so there's a little bit of a claim that's in question there. And then he ended up going to the Antarctic, and I know he, from what I read, was he got waylaid in the Arctic, was stuck for like 6 months, really sick. They finally rescued him and found him, and then he ended up making the admiral in an admiral level in the Navy, and I think it was in World War II as well. He died in, I believe, in 57. But my understanding was that anyway, sorry, I've just got some people messaging me. A couple of about work. I was supposed to have the days off, and we had to do some work, turn over a couple houses today, And then I'm getting ready to start stream. This is hilarious. So then I'm getting ready to start the stream, right? And I want to do some gaming, want to do some killing. I practiced Master Key today, but anyway, it was supposed to be my day off, my day away from the dude. And if you guys don't know, the dude is my son. He is 15 months. And I call him the dude because every time I walk upstairs when I get home from work or whatever, I'll be like, dude. He'll be playing. I'll be like, dude. And he'll stop what he's doing. He's put his little hands like this. He'll stop. And he'll do this cheeky little thing. He'll go like this and he'll look over at me and he'll go, yeah. Quite funny. Anyway, I was having a break of the dude. And then I was getting ready to start streaming. This was about 2:50-ish, my time, Mountain. And Kayla comes to me and says to me, I forgot a house we were supposed to do. The people arrived and it's dirty. My goodness, man. I don't, sweetheart. Now my daughter. The dude, right, from The Big Lebowski, right? How can you not love it? It's the dude, man. He spilled, it was really funny. So Kayla has no idea about the dude or anything like that. And so, we have a rug upstairs. This is actually really funny. This happened probably about maybe 2 weeks ago. And he had his bottle, and one of the things I like giving him is cranberry juice, and then I put in like these vitamin supplements for babies. Right? I want the kid to have some goodness in his life, be healthy. And anyway, he spills cranberry juice, his bottle. He takes off the sippy cup thing. It's not a bottle, it's a sippy cup thing, and it spills all over the carpet upstairs, or the rug upstairs. Right? Well, this is what's funny about it. You know where I'm going with this, Dub. And so anyway, so he's up there, he's playing, he grabs his little sippy cup, he takes the lid off, and he spills. It's a pretty nice rug, pretty expensive one, and expensive for us anyway. It's not like $10,000 or anything, but a couple $100 anyway. And spills cranberry juice all over the rug. And I looked at him and I'm like, his name's Maverick. And I said, Maverick, dude, the rug really brought the room together. Oh my God, dude. I was rolling. I thought it was hilarious. Kayla looks at me and she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I don't even know how to help you with that. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, I can't help you. It's the dude. And so I actually had to explain it to her, and she's like, all right. And I was like, yeah, we'll watch The Big Lebowski. I'll show you all about it. Anyway, so, but no, I did. Yeah, it was a great story. Great story. It's fucking hilarious. This is like one of those ones, it's so good you couldn't make that story up if you tried. It was awesome. Anyway, so yeah, there you go. Let's see here. I'm probably gonna bust out a game or two. I just want a game. W, did you have any? I wanted to look at that Antarctica thing, and I wanted to look at oh, Shades on. I just want to run a couple games. But I do want to look at everybody's playing the Modern Warfare. I can't bring myself to buy it. I just can't. Because I'll probably play it 5 to 8 times. And then just use it for leveling up guns. And I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But I do want to play just a couple games. Nothing extravagant. If Shade's not gonna join us, let's just go grab it. Actually, I need this down. Let me turn this down. Hopefully the tube doesn't. I got nothing but DMC free, copyright free beats. Right? That's all I have on here. So hopefully we don't get shut down. Anyway, I just want to bounce rock a couple games. All right. Oh, right. Well, that's the thing. I won't pre-order another game. I bought the gold edition or the premium edition, whatever the big dick edition was for Battlefield. And I'm so disappointed. So let me tell you, I was going to play it today, right? Because that's a game I can play. And I'm fucking a demon on Battlefield. And so I was like, hey, I'll showcase a little talent, a little better. I go to play it. I can't even just plug my controller into my PC and have it go, all the buttons are screwed up on Battlefield. And I was like, I'm not going to Google. Then they go, you got to go and do this. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm not doing it. Like, I legit just want to plug in my controller and go play a video game. I don't want any glitches. I don't want any bullshit. I don't want any of it.
Enemy dropping into the AR.
I thought it was...
Enemy dropping into the AO.
He thought it was him that killed it. So I am trying something a little new. Well, not new, kind of new.
Time to see what you've learned.
I have my the raised little stick on there. I tried that earlier. But anyway, Dub, if you got something, I mean, we talked about Antarctica, but I'm kind of the one. Hey, there's Hottie Dottie. We like somebody. We here to have fun. We ain't here to hurt nobody. There's my daughter. What's up, beautiful lady? How are you doing, sweetheart?
Breathe. Make your way to the top. Cash drop on the way. It's payday, gents.
Play a game or two. We go shoot the shit, have some drinks. Damn, I need to pour another one. But I go full, brother. Like, I was thinking about it, and I'm thinking, okay, if I really want to talk about this, let's go.
I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, I'm about to whip somebody's ass. Oh, if you don't leave me alone, you're gonna have to send me home. 'Cause I'm about to whip somebody's ass.
But I'm a dork, right? Like, I literally am a nerd. And I'm thinking, if we're going to talk about, like, conspiracy theories or ancient civilizations, in my head I was going, well, don't we need to start at the beginning and how man evolved? Right? Because there's two. I got you, dude. I got you, dude. We go same spot. We go same spot. I do have a Discord. I'll get you You're not going to try and wee-woo me, are you?
You're being tracked by an enemy team. Tread carefully.
I mean, we're already gonna battle, dude. Like, you and I are gonna get it. Like, it's you and I. I'm gonna lead that contract on purpose because I want to see if he gets it. That way I have a general idea of where he's at.
Targets are up. Take them out.
What a random place for a box.
Our loadout drop inbound.
Recon's inbound.
UAV beginning flyover. Gas is right at the tail. Supply box identified. Marking location now.
But no, like, I mean, to me, it's like, you know, let's start at the beginning. And I was like, man, I gotta, that's one thing that I have to do and my daughter will tell you,
Next objective.
I will get so in depth on shit and people are like, yeah, that's not gonna work. Yeah, actually, Dub, I watch football not every Saturday. I try to watch it every Saturday.
Objective identified.
On Discord. Like, I actually broadcast the games on Discord.
A Nebula 5 bomb has been discovered. Stay alert. Tactical nuke inbound. A Nebula 5 bomb has been deployed.
Recon's inbound.
Contract complete. All supply boxes found. UAV beginning
I got plenty of time.
Nebula 5 bomb detonation imminent. Stay clear. UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
But I literally will get so in depth, and I was like, nah, we're gonna let that go.
Enemy hunters lost your trail. You're safe.
What do you think the probability of him coming down and trying to kill me is? Really? Oh. Oh, you're an asshole. You're an asshole. Like, look at him. Like, literally, look at this bitch. Oh, he's an anthropo. Like that bitch.
To the gulag. If you survive, you earn your freedom.
Like that guy ratted that up so bad. Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude.
You win this fight and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done. Fight your way out of this or capture the objective. You got your hands full. Well done. Now get back out there.
Oh, I'm gonna go find that motherfucker. What do you think the probability of some rats up in here?
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Enemy UAV active.
Well, that's not what I wanted to have happen. What's up, baby? Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll find out, right?
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
I don't want to be on peak. I don't want to be anywhere around peak. God damn it. I really want to be dig site. How do I get there? How do I get there? I'm gonna get shot. I hate vehicles, but here we go.
Gas is inbound.
Whoa! God damn it! Oh well. It kicked you out? That's no good. The hell, Shy? The hell? The hell? All right. I'm going to read the anthropologist. Let's pour a drink. Let's pour a drink. Let's pour a drink. Yeah. It's whatever, though. Robert Seffer. Who's that? I've never heard of him. He's an anthropologist. Okay. Let's see what his credentials are. Because I like that kind of shit. It's Robert Sef. Sepehr. Let's see what this dude's all about. Okay. Well, let's whoa, hold up. Hold up already. Okay, so anthropologist specializing in linguistic, archaeology, and paleobiology. Okay, a harsh critic of out of Africa theory. Alternative diffusionist. Okay. Now here's the well, I'm glad you're back, Shy. So here's the scenario. So we're gonna be doing a lot of this. Hold on real quick. I gotta switch over. So you guys can see what I'm looking at. There we go. There we go. So now here's the question. So this is one of the things that I looked at. Here's one of the things that I looked at. And I do this because I don't take anybody's word for anything, right? And I certainly don't believe in we are told the complete truth in anything, right? I wouldn't say I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I also don't believe we are told the complete truth in anything that we do, or anything that we have. Because, for example, I saw an article today about a mega asteroid coming in, right? Coming by the Earth next month. It's like 2,400 feet in diameter. And I don't know, they say, oh, it's not going to, it's 1.6 million miles from Earth. So it's not like it's, going to hit us tomorrow. But I also don't think that they would do that in the context. I don't think they would tell us that an asteroid is going to hit us if it's a year and a half out. There would be civil unrest. People wouldn't be able to understand it, right? Aliens. I definitely believe there's other living creatures out in the universe. Like the mathematical. Yeah, well, so, and this is what I'm getting into, right? This is what I'm getting into. Because I go against the grain. I certainly do. And this is what this goes into this. But so if an asteroid is going to hit us, they're not going to tell us about it because civilization would crumble, war would happen, theft, the construct of society as we know it would end. The murders would be out. Just people would lose their shit if they knew it. So I think the powers that be keep a lot of shit from us, right? But when somebody goes against the grain, which, hey, I'm all about, right? I'm all about it because I don't think we're told the true story of a lot of things. But a lot of these people go against this shit because it makes them money. Because people buy into it. And so I want to look at him. I do want to look at him. You said he's on YouTube? He's on YouTube? I don't want to watch. I'm fine with watching. So, this guy right here is a grifter, right?
I think we should explore a few solutions.
Grammarly's suggestions catch when your tone might undermine your message, and it offers suggestions to make you sound more confident.
Let's explore a few solutions.
The revenue that our business will generate will triple in the next.
So this guy's saying this is horrible right here. Let's get through all that shit.
Thus, Robert Sepper was born.
I wanted my last video on this guy titled Robert Sepper is a Bad Anthropologist to be kind of the last word that I said on him because he's kind of a goon and I don't really want to waste any more time on the guy. But then...
What? I love garbage.
One, his fans brigaded my channel, which was of course very funny and gave me the opportunity to read some of these bonkers comments as some sort of easy content, so thank you, Robert Sepper fans, for that. It also gave me an opportunity to point out that of hundreds of comments, only one of them actually tried to address anything scientific that I said with regard to Robert's claims. The
So
rest,
who's this lady?
and I do mean the rest, opting instead to call me a jealous SJW woman who is Jewish.
You can't get away with that. You're dead.
Biting commentary. My previous video read aloud some of Robert Sepper's tweets before his Twitter was shut down, and I do think that those tweets were super racist. But because Robert Sepper fans have the focus and attention span of a salmon, they were unable to comment about anything
I'm not
else
buying. I'm
other
not buying.
than the fact
The
that I
minute
was
she said
a
super
mean and
racist, I don't know how I feel
shrewd
about it.
Floyd. They ignored all of the well-sourced breakdowns about why Robert Sepper is chronically wrong about biological anthropology, even going so far as to say, give me a timestamp for where she makes the arguments. You could have just looked for yourself. There's a lot in there. That's why today's video is going to be focusing exclusively on how Robert Sepper is objectively wrong rather than some of his many personal flaws.
Let's take a look
If you
at
wanna
this.
know why
I'm
Robert
going to watch
Sepper is
some of his. He gets hate because he doesn't believe we came from apes crap. Okay. So let's take a look. Let's get into his page, right? And so now one of the things like I said, I do have a history. I went to school for archaeology, biological anthropology, religious studies. So I double majored in biological anthropology and Mesoamerica, Southwest Native Americans. And then I have a minor in religious studies. I didn't finish my degree. When I say this, I didn't finish it. I'm 21 credit hours short, but they're all electives. And I'm not an expert by any stretch, but I know enough just to get me in some fucking trouble. So let's find his videos. Does he have playlists? No, let's check his videos. Okay, I want to look at the one thing I want to. Let's take a look at this. Debunking evolution monkey business. Debunking out of Africa.
I'm not talking about your in-laws or your
let's take a look at it. How long? 24 minutes? Shit, that's not. That's a drink and a cigarette. Let's go. Let's see what he says. And then I have no.
For today's episode, I decided to take a trip to the LA Zoo, where I was first greeted by some exotic pink flamingos that get their color from the pigments in their algae and brine shrimp diet.
I didn't know that about a flamingo.
Next, I visited the reptiles and watched some really cute turtles paddling through the water, using their webbed feet to propel themselves, as they're great swimmers, spending most of their lives in the water.
Okay.
As much fun as it is to watch these turtles swim around, my main reason for today's visit was to spend some time with the primates, which includes over 200 species, and the one that I was most interested in seeing today was the gorilla, predominantly ground-dwelling great apes that inhabit the tropical forests of Africa.
I will say this:
gorillas are herbivores,
it's been
meaning
a minute,
their diet consists of plants and foliage, yet they are extremely powerful, averaging about 5 feet in height, but are several times stronger than a human. That said, despite their enormous strength, gorillas seem to be afraid of certain reptiles, such as chameleons and caterpillars, and they also don't like water, and will cross streams only if they can do so without getting wet, and very much dislike the rain. Gorillas are gentle giants that display many emotions, such as laughter and sadness, and usually live in family groups.
One of the cool things, I don't know if you guys, is gorillas are ridiculously intelligent. I don't know if you guys know about Coco. She's dead now. But so Coco was able to communicate through sign language. She showed what's called displacement, right? And so she actually could tell the story of her captivity or her capture. She lied. They put a bull in there, the bull got broke, and she's like, the kitty did it, and the kitty wasn't there, right? And so the cognitive ability of these gorillas are amazing.
Groups.
Coco was
but
ridiculous.
Can also live a solitary life alone or in loose association with other male bachelors.
Fuck, dude.
There, he leaned back.
Shit, let me fucking... Dude,
there
I get the gorillas. I like to live alone, too.
This one's
Kayla
name is
hates it,
Hassani,
'cause I
meaning
literally wanna
handsome in
live
Swahili,
all in the middle of
and he
nowhere.
exuded a cool confidence.
I'm sorry, the glass. We can't get him to clean the glass. This side is okay, but the other side's pretty dirty. They go and clean it, and before you know it, looks like this again.
Well, I think gorillas are amazing animals, obviously.
Very good.
Obviously, right?
We would say if you're a mature person.
He didn't seem intimidated by me at all, yet was well aware of my presence beside him.
He knows you're doing that, you know.
He knows what I'm doing?
Yeah, he's very aware of what you're doing.
His feet look so ham-like.
Uh-huh.
Very majestic guy here. Bachelor, you say, huh?
Yeah. Like I say, he's really a nice guy.
Nice guy.
Yeah, he really is. He's like our senior guy. The others are all, the other two.
He's 27, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, one of them.
They lived to about, what, 30, 40 years, I think I read?
They both have the same father, but different mothers.
The largest of the great apes, gorillas are considered highly intelligent, with some in captivity having been taught sign language, with one example having a vocabulary of more than 1,000 signs, and the ability to understand 2,000 words of spoken English.
There she is.
Baby.
With a sign language vocabulary of more than 1,000 words and the ability to understand thousands more,
Coco love. Good.
Coco, the western lowland gorilla, was a scientific marvel and source of wonder for decades. Coco was born in captivity in 1971 at the San Francisco Zoo and began learning sign language at the age of 1 from Dr. Penny Patterson as part of a Stanford research project. She became a sensation back in 1978 as the subject of a National Geographic cover story. Over her lifetime, Coco also learned how to paint, play wind instruments, and loved watching movies.
This is her favorite show. She cries. She cries when the girl leaves.
That said,
it's so cool.
Chimpanzees have been shown an ability to not only use simple tools, but are able to solve many kinds of problems posed to them by human trainers and experimenters.
Yeah,
not only have chimps
Coco's
demonstrated an ability to also learn sign language, but researchers have taught chimps to count, compute, and communicate using languages based on the display of tokens or pictorial symbols.
And finally from us here on the webcast today, a story that might cause some of you to question whether or not we human beings really are the smartest creatures here on planet Earth. Japanese researchers created an intelligence test that pitted humans against chimps. And in the end, we look like chumps. Here's Bill Blakemore.
First test. Can chimpanzees count from 1 to 9 in the right order in return for a peanut or other tasty reward? Yes, they can. Now, if you just flash the 9 numerals for a moment, then cover them, can a chimpanzee remember where...
So here's an interesting thought of what the prevailing theory about this is as we go on. So all animals, and it's very interesting because we see this in human behavior as well, right? This is just a really interesting thought. I'm getting a little toasty, so I'll be rambling a bit, and I'll try to keep my thoughts short. But here's an interesting thought about humans. And so as I was going through and I'm learning and I'm in class and I'm questioning professors and, you know, I went back to school, what was I, shy? 30, 31, 32, 33. Anyway, so as I go in, I'm questioning them. And you see this in societal breakdown. So animals, the number one thing all animals need, anything, including humans, the first thing they need above all things is food. Food and water, right? It's a subsistence strategy. Like, we have to have it. That is the number one goal. The number two goal is to have shelter, right? A place to live, a place to call home, a place. Now, you got to take yourself out of our construct of where, you know, you go get an apartment, you got to pay and blah, blah, blah. Take it in the totality of it. And you see societal breakdowns when those needs are not met in human civilizations. And we were hunter-gatherers, and in the hunter-gatherers, in the archaeological records, you see this dynamic of there's no real specialization. There's no real advancement. Now, we're talking Neolithic. I'm talking 11,000 years ago, right? 12, 13,000, the terminal Pleistocene. That's the end of the Ice Age. The minute that the Neolithic is the transition from hunter-gatherer societies, which is more egalitarian, to agricultural society, where we have surplus, where literally one person can cultivate enough food to offset hunting and gathering. They can actually have surplus. And two things happen in the surplus era, right? In that Neolithic period. Number one is we become a stratified society, right? It's really interesting because around this time you see the transition from a pantheon of gods in religion to a singular God, right? Through Abraham. You see this stratified society. In addition, you see specialization. What's interesting about this right here is they're learning for food because they need that reward, and that's their primary function. I would really like to see an experiment or a study done teaching them how to farm, teaching chimpanzees, gorillas, bonobos, whatever. I would really like to see if we can teach them how to farm, create surplus, and see how their society changes. Versus us giving them food to where they cultivate food because they're smart enough to do it. I would really like to see that. And we see the societal breakdown when groups, that's why poor communities have a higher crime rate, is because of the societal structure breakdown, because our basic needs aren't being met regardless of what we perceive our basic needs are, right? Some people believe basic needs are a nice house, nice car, great shoes, whatever. Others have a different opinion on it. But when we see that our basic needs aren't met, we see a societal breakdown, aka Chicago.
Where each numeral was, and still get the order they were in right. Yes, for another tasty treat. This chimp got this wrong once, but thought nothing of it, and undaunted, went right back to getting them all correct. Now, if you flash just some of the 9 numerals, then cover them, can a chimp, A, remember where each was, and B, in the right order, even though some were missing? Yes. Slowing down, not one bit. And note, chimps can also eat and memorize at the same time. Not only that, if right after the numerals are flashed, the chimpanzee is then distracted, say by some monkey business over to the right off camera, or perhaps by another good-looking chimpanzee, and then returns to it, no problem.
Are you shitting
Just
me with
keep
that?
the goodies coming. Now, can another primate species, the adult Homo sapien, do the same? Well, okay. And again? Again?
Hell yeah, he's a gamer. Got better dexterity than I
Again? One more try? Well, okay. But actually, chimpanzees did much better than humans in this flash and remember test, leaving the Japanese human researchers scratching their heads. One possible theory, chimpanzees care more than humans about peanuts.
No.
Bill Blakemore, ABC.
I absolutely disagree. I absolutely disagree. A chimp, so you gotta think about a moment you're focused and you're not distracted by anything else. We can remember things very quickly. In addition to that, our society, even back when this was made, this looks like early 2000s, maybe 2010-ish, 2005-ish. But our brains, we as a society are not required to focus on specific things for food, subsistence, shelter. We're not required. We have everything at the touch of a finger, a touch of a hand, touch of everything. Everything is done for us. I will tell you, I would make an argument if you were to take a human being from 1850 to 2022, put them together, put the same test, the person from 1850 has a better understanding of this.
News.
Our life is
the study from Japan speaks to the adaptive intelligence of the chimps, which in that particular memory demonstration surpasses the performance of the human test subject, and is counterintuitive if one goes by the assumption that there must be a linear progression from inferior to superior in regards to primate and human evolution, as each species expresses its intelligence differently and in accordance to the environment in which it evolved or adapted to, which is often changing. In other words, a fish is superior when it comes to surviving in the water. A bird is exceptional in terms of thriving during flight, and a monkey exceeds in its survival in the trees. All life forms possess a unique form of intelligence expressed in accordance to its environment, and the notion that humanity is currently at life's zenith, or even its own pinnacle, may be a hasty conclusion.
That's 100% correct. That's 100% correct. We are not the pinnacle of evolution, of life.
Known for their distinctive red fur, orangutans are great apes native to the rainforests of Indonesia and Malaysia, and are the largest arboreal mammal, meaning they spend most of their time in the trees, with arms much longer than their legs, and grasping hands and feet with long curved fingers and toes. The Malay word orangutan means person of the forest, and while they live semi-solitary lives in the wild, it should be noted that orangutans are highly social and are among the most intelligent primates whose learning abilities have been studied extensively.
Really cool.
My name is Dr. Rob Shoemaker, and behind me is AZ. AZ is an adult male orangutan, and it's who I'm going to be working with in just a minute. We'll start with some questions that he should be able to answer very, very effectively. His job is to find that symbol on the screen. So once he understands a symbol with accuracy, I can present it to him with virtually any level of complexity. Good. He can also use photographs and drawings, and he can be exceedingly accurate. What I'm asking him to do today is not counting. I'm asking him to learn how to sequence the numbers. And so far, what we're seeing is a very nice progression where he's ruling out all those possibilities and is starting to do very, very well on the task. All of that is to say he's going in the right direction.
Let's start with an example from the vocabulary. This is the symbol for apple, and you'll notice that it starts with a rectangle on the outside or the exterior, and all food symbols start with a rectangle. you notice there's a diagonal line going from corner to corner and a dot right in the center. That is the only symbol that will ever look that way, and that's the only name we'll ever have for Apple. Now watch carefully, okay? I'm going to ask him to find the name for Apple on his
100%.
screen.
G, what's up, dude?
Perfect. Good job. Good, Ace. That was exactly right. I'm going to show him a very complicated screen. Good. Very good.
The innate intelligence of many primates that have been studied is very apparent. But what isn't so clear is the alleged and assumed transition from a tree-dwelling primate into a bipedal one. The incumbent theory presented by mainstream academia is that roughly 60 million years ago, prosimians took to the trees. Pro means before, simian means monkey or ape. So after the cataclysmic event that ended the age of the dinosaurs, a theoretical mammal called a prosimian, similar to a rodent, is said to have moved into what became trees and allegedly evolved into monkeys. Some monkeys then came down from the trees and began spending part of the time on the ground, evolving into apes, with chimps and gorillas stemming from a common ancestor about 10 million years ago. Then, as the theory goes, somewhere between 5 and 7 million years ago, as I was taught, apes allegedly transitioned into bipedal hominins, which then supposedly gave rise to humans, with some desperate studies recently claiming that early humans were still swinging from the trees 2 million years ago, which I find laughable. Almost all archaeological digs in Africa focus exclusively in the strata focusing on the time period hypothesized for this missing link, the theoretical specimen demonstrating a primate transition into bipedalism, but has remained elusive, especially for researchers whose paychecks do not depend on corporate or federally funded academic institutions. Of course, there have been many errors and fakes presented to the public, such as the Piltdown Man, which for the first half of the 20th century was prominently displayed in the British Museum and in scientific textbooks, turning out to be an ape's jaw, fraudulently bleached and then glued onto a human skull for close to 50 years, or the Nebraska Man, which was an imaginary missing link that turned out to be dreamed up from a pig's tooth. This article published by BBC is titled, "We Still Have Not Found the Missing Link Between Us and Apes," that not only admits that we haven't found anything that resembles the last common ancestor between humans and apes, labeled the missing link, but goes on to state that there isn't even agreement among anthropologists on what the last common ancestor might have looked like. Now, just last week, it turns out that a hominin specimen touted as humanity's earliest ancestor was not a hominin, and thus was not the earliest known human ancestor. In a paper published in Journal of Human Evolution, a team of researchers from France have found evidence that the Sahelanthropus tchadensis, which mainstream anthropologists claimed walked upright between 6.8 and 7.2 million years ago, which is twice as long ago as the famous Lucy, dated to about 3.2 million years ago, actually did not walk upright and thus was not a hominin, but instead an ape ancestor that walked on all fours like gorillas and other great apes. So it was not a hominin and was therefore not an early human ancestor. That said, we don't even have transitional forms between Australopithecus, such as Lucy, and the Homo genus, which includes bipedal hominins such as habilis, erectus, denisovans, and Neanderthal, not to mention Cro-Magnon, or modern humans. And yet, the mainstream media and academia tries very hard to force obsolete paradigms to work, despite persistent and obvious gaps in the fossil record, which seem to be pushed to support a political agenda, like out of Africa theory, which involves claims that an ape-like foot with a big toe that sticks out to the angle like a thumb, obviously used for grabbing branches, was actually a bipedal hominin ancestor displayed in many museums. Not only do I have a problem with the simian anatomy that some anthropologists try to pass off as bipedal, meaning upright walking. Nothing that walked upright like we do had all that fur. Unlike apes and monkeys, we sweat a lot. And there's an explanation for this, which has to do with how bipedal hominins hunted. People cannot outrun most animals, like a gazelle, for example, which can reach speeds of up to 60 miles per hour in short bursts. But they can chase it for fucking 50 miles. But it cannot sustain that for hours. People, however, can run for long periods of time, and this is demonstrated in marathon runners, where sweating becomes a necessity to be able to cool off after running down animals right before plunging a weapon into its exhausted body. So these upright, bipedal, hairy specimen with hands as feet, allegedly almost human, are paleo art and created to push a political agenda, not a scientific one.
I disagree.
All aspects of the out of Africa theory lacks empirical evidence.
No, it doesn't.
From how races came to be, to the hominin origins coming from tree dwellers.
Absolutely. So his argument here, so this is one of the things that okay, so human evolution can happen extremely fast, right? Evolution can happen ridiculously fast. Depending on the length of reproduction, right? So what I mean by that is so first off, evolution happens. It's not, they call it survival of the fittest. It doesn't mean the strongest. It means reproductive fitness. That's the number one thing, right? I disagree with this. And the reason why I disagree with this shit is because evolution happens rapidly. As a matter of fact, they did a study they monitored these. It's in Arizona. There was some mice, and they started and they split, and within like 5 years, it was almost a completely different species. They were separated by like a canyon. And they started off and they monitored these mice and it actually evolved into a completely different species. But human evolution is a little different. But there's a thing called the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium, and they can actually dictate the specific genes will mutate at a very, very specific rate. And so these two scientists went back, and this was like in the early 1900s, and they go back, maybe 1950. Anyway, they go back and they say, okay, genes mutate at this specific rate, and then the environment selects for it. So for him to say that these people millions of years ago, we're talking so Lucy was Australopithecine afarensis or africanus. I think she was afarensis. But the point being though is so Lucy, there wasn't the need at this time. So what he's talking about is at this time, humans weren't running, or hominids, right? You got humanoid and hominids, two different things. These hominids weren't running to procure food at this time. There was a selective breeding in nature that where we've seen gorillas walk on two legs, right? We've seen that all video, right? But they weren't required to run long distance at this time. They were still eating from trees. They're still brachiated, right? Brachiated means like your arms, the chimpanzees, they can swing from limb to limb. Our arms aren't that way. Like that's stressful for me to do that, right? And so for his claim to say, hey, they weren't doing this with Lucy, well, no, there wasn't the requirement of it. 100% there wasn't the requirement of it.
No ancient origin myth or religion attributes our start to monkeys. Many of them, in fact, claim that apes evolved from us, where the common ancestor took to the trees after some sort of global cataclysm and instead of the other way around. If this sounds counterintuitive to you, it's now being proposed by members of the scientific community, so it's worth taking a look for yourself, since the media has no incentive to report on such things.
Do mushrooms freak you out?
These won't. But it's no wonder shrooms get...
That said, the revolution in genomics...
But that's... Okay, so if he's saying this right here, folks. So if he's saying this is true, then why in the fossil record, right? We don't have the missing link. We don't have it. The amount of fossils that we have for human evolution, you can put in the back of a Chevy pickup truck. It's total amount of fossils. 100% it is. You can put everything we have and it fits in the back of a fucking pickup truck. But in the archaeological record, Homo sapiens, they just found a new one. Not found a new one, but previously it was by Dr. Brown, who I studied under in the University of Utah. He found it in Kenya. He found the oldest one at 196,000 years. Recently, in 2017, 2018, they found one that's 300,000 years old, right? So they found a Homo sapien, not a Homo sapien sapien. We're Homo sapien sapiens, but they found Homo sapiens. Is 300,000 years. So his argument is that they evolved from us, but we know that the gorilla was 6 million years ago. Is it 6 million? I believe the gorilla was 6 million, maybe 4 million. But the point being is in the record, it shows the greater apes further back than Homo sapiens. Now, that's not to say that there's not a Homo sapien out there that's 2 million years old. Maybe they're out there. We just haven't found them yet, right? And so for his argument to say that they evolved from us, that could have happened, sure. But the record doesn't show that that's happened.
Since the sequencing of DNA from all races, including archaic hominin races, which is a fancy way of saying ancient people, has demonstrated that we are all made up of various species of people that had different blood types, were adapted to different environments, but that does not answer the pivotal question: if we did not come down from the trees, where did humanity come from? Turning to myth and folklore, we have stories of people dwelling in subterranean habitats, coming to the surface, such as the Hopi Indian legends.
Many stories about that.
And I have several videos on Inner Earth, which explores if it's even possible. And of course, there's no shortage of ancient mythologies and religious stories of some sort of fallen angel or God coming down and mating with earthly or mortal women. From the Book of Enoch to the many stories of Zeus or some other god, and their offspring establishing new civilizations, which is how Atlantis allegedly started. Not to mention Crete and the Minoan civilization with Zeus and Europa, the Phoenician princess where Europe gets its name.
Okay.
The genetic findings seem to make much more sense in terms of an advanced branch of humanity hybridizing with more primitive or less technologically advanced cousins, which might sound implausible to some, but at least starts to solve mysteries.
I mean, that's a possibility, right, though? Right? I mean, maybe humans were in the earth. Like, there's a story of, in the Hopi tradition, there is a story of the ant people. They came out of the ground and helped save mankind and taught them how to live in times of famine. Could it be? Sure. But there's no evidence of it. And so for him to present, I'm kind of questioning his logic
Such as Rh negative blood type, which modern traditional Darwinian anthropology has no solution for. Hybrid humans existed in
I want to hear that again.
modern traditional Darwinian might sound implausible to some, but at least starts to solve mysteries such as Rh-negative blood type, which modern traditional Darwinian anthropology has no.
Okay, let's read this. If mankind evolved from the same African ancestor, then everyone's blood would be compatible, but it's not. In Cro-Magnon, why does the body of an Rh-negative mother carry an Rh-positive child to reject her own offspring? Well, of course it is. Like, what he's saying isn't anything that's not new. Right? We've known that we've interbred. We've been able to interbreed. So you got the Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalis, Cro-Magnon, and then Homo sapiens, right? That's kind of our tree in the genus Homo. They all interbred. And when, let's say, take a Neanderthal, right? They bred with humans. They're going to introduce their genetics, their mutations, their blood types, their everything in there, in that species. And so Homo sapien, as it was, whether it's out of Africa or whatever, 100% it interbreeded. Have you seen me? I'm 5'10", 225 pounds. Back in the day, I was strong as an ox. I looked just like a fucking Neanderthal. Have you seen these eyebrows? Look at those eyebrows. I got the big old fucking forehead right there. You seen that shit? Look at that shit. Of course I have Neanderthal. I come from Northern Europe. And the predominant location of Neanderthals is in Europe. So, of course. And that's where you get your different blood types, 100%. But we can still all evolve from Africa. I don't know if that's true or not. That's what the record says. But 100% I could evolve, that it could go all the way back to Africa. And the DNA traces it back to Africa based on haplotypes. If you guys know what haplotypes are, it's a genetic blood type. And they can group everybody together based on
hybrid humans
mitochondrial
existed in prehistory. For example, Neanderthals and modern humans, or Cro-Magnon, interbred from 35,000 to about 28,000 years ago.
Long before that, actually.
Europeans have between 1 and 5% Neanderthal genetics.
Yeah!
While the percentage is even greater in East Asians. Sub-Saharan Africans have a trace amount of Neanderthal DNA, even though no Neanderthal has ever been found in Sub-Saharan Africa.
Okay, but if you don't think that a Neanderthal banged some fucking Homo sapien, and then that Homo sapien, like, let's go, I'm going to go back, and then they interbred backwards. It wasn't just a straight migration pattern, right? That we start in Africa, go up through Europe, and then the group splits, and then it goes into Asia, and then it goes through the Beringia, and then down into the to North America through the Laurentide ice sheet, and then all the way down to Africa. That didn't happen that way. It didn't. 100% people are going to go back. 100% people are going to go back.
The reason is because after hybridization in Europe, hybridized Europeans entered into Africa and interbred with an archaic ghost.
Okay, so where? Okay, sure. But where did the Homo... So you're saying that Homo sapiens evolved in Europe and then went to Africa? That's what you're saying? But if you go to African... So the DNA studies... This guy's absolutely wrong, W. Because if you go to Africa right now and take some DNA tests, I'll show me. I can Google it and show you this. There's a specific haplotype in Africa that dates back, based on mitochondrial DNA, that dates back 280,000 years. And he even just said so right now himself. He just said they interbred about 35,000 years ago. It was longer than that, because Homo sapiens appeared in Europe about 140,000 years ago. Hell, they were in Australia 100,000 years ago.
Species, which got its name because it's only been detected genetically in the DNA of people from sub-Saharan Africa and has not yet been identified in the fossil record. So modern Africans are a hybrid race of the ghost species, which I suspect is Homo erectus or another very archaic hominin, and Europeans who already had interbred with Neanderthal. In other words, there absolutely and conclusively was no out of Africa in the sense of sub-Saharan African people leaving Africa and magically mutating into Asians and then Caucasians. This obsolete hypothesis will go down in history as a bigger fraud than the Piltdown Man. That said, there's a significant difference between the terms anatomically modern or anatomically correct human and fully modern human.
Yeah, the Homo
modern
sapien,
humans
Homo sapien,
do not appear in the fossil record until around 40,000 years ago. Anything that you hear about that's older than that, for example, 200,000 years ago, 100,000 years ago, or even 70,000 years ago, may be called anatomically correct, but it's not fully modern, which must exhibit certain characteristics in terms of behavior, tool technology, and other phenotype attributes, of which the most important is the chin, thought to come about by using the back molars to chew instead of the front canines, indicating an agricultural diet. And agriculture is the requisite for what we call civilization. Without agriculture, there's no pyramids, no megalithic structures, no armies, no metals, no seafaring empires, all of which come about via domesticated animals used in farming, and by one specimen, Cro-Magnon are our direct ancestors, meaning they were the first fully modern human in every sense of the word modern, meaning they had a larger cranial capacity than today's average.
Okay, yeah.
And it wasn't just about size of the
Homo
skull.
sapiens were
it was also the
there.
shape, as Neanderthal also had a high cubic centimeter cranial volume, but it was shaped differently. It was elongated. Only Cro-Magnon had a round skull like we have, with a forehead and a chin like we have, with no brow ridge or no big bulging, protruding eyebrow bone. And Cro-Magnon had an advanced toolkit and everything we attribute to advanced modern human. Any anthropologist that does not agree or understand what I just said should go ask their university for a refund, as their degree is not worth the woke paper it was printed on.
That's a funny compliment. This is cool. Watch you break yourself down. I just wanted to go be Indian Joe's, go find cool shit. Yeah, so let's break this out here. Yeah, I mean this guy here, I'll watch some more of him. 100% I will. But his arguments are not correct. Right? They're not correct of what we know. Now, I'm not one that prescribes to what I'm told is the absolute truth. I research, I read shit. I'm a nerd. And I rely on people much smarter than me to give me the information. But 100% Cro-Magnon, right? So 100%, there's a shift in the cranial capacity, the structure of the skull. So Neanderthals had this huge brow, and I forget, what is it? The occipital? No, the occipital bun is in the back. The occipital bun is in the back. The brow ridge is, I forget what the brow ridge is called, and I apologize. And so Neanderthals had this massive brow ridge. Like, you literally can stick a pencil on a Neanderthal's brow ridge. It's ridiculous. They were just fucking big. They were strong. But they resemble or represent Homo, the genus Homo, right? That's what we are. Homo. Homo neanderthalis, Homo decivonian, Homo sapien, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, right? And there's qualifying things. There's the dental patterns, right? The Y5, it's called a Y5 dental pattern that happens on your back, on the back molars. And that's what really created primates. That's where we see the difference. They have since found a new one, and I forget the name. When I went to school, it was Proconsul was the first one, but I think they have found a new one that started with that. The Proconsul was about 23 to 25 million years ago. I think this one they found that was, I think it was 40 million years. I'd have to Google it. I'd have to research it. But anyway, the point being is, of course, that's why there's Homo sapien, right? And then there's Homo sapiens sapien. Because there is an evolutionary dynamic that is created about between 80 and 60,000 years ago. And, of course, we interbred with Cro-Magnon and Neanderthals. 100% we did. I want a filet mignon. Fuck me, dude. That sounds amazing. You haven't eaten today? Get fucked, dude. So last night, and I had leftovers this morning. Last night I had, actually I gave the recipe to Mike Golf. We were just literally texting each other. That's what I was doing. I was texting him. So if you want to create one of the most amazing shredded beef tacos you've ever had, try this. And I should have, and I was telling Kayla this morning, I was like, fuck, I should have recorded it and put it on for the recipe. So real quick, let me turn on some music while I get on a little bit of, this is going to make you want to eat big time. But, so take a 2-pound chuck roast. That's what I did. I got a 2-pound chuck roast. I got a bottle of mild banana peppers. And I take the chuck roast and I put garlic powder, onion powder, tons of salt, tons of pepper, chili powder, cumin, all on the beef. And then I put it in the pan and I put vegetable oil in there. And I literally deep fried it. And I probably about, in my pan, I probably about maybe a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch. And I just let it sit there until it crusted the shit out of it. Flipped it over, crusted it again. Take it in and I put it in the slow cooker. I add 3 to 4 cups of beef broth. Normally I like to make my beef broth and we let it sit there and cook for about 3 to 4 days. But what I ended up doing was just buying it, put it in there. Chipotle chili powder. What's up, Das Burrito? We're talking about tacos, dude. Okay, so I take about a teaspoon of chipotle chili powder. I like the smokiness of it. I love that smoky flavor to come into the meat. I don't like it as the primary chili powder. And then I take about 1 to 2 tablespoons. Last night I did 2, and it's well worth it. So I dumped the banana peppers in there with the juice and banana peppers, everything in there. 1 teaspoon of chipotle chili powder. 2 tablespoons of regular chili powder. What else did I put in there? Right? And so then you just let it, and then I put it in, and there, you obviously add salt to the water. What else did I add to it? I've got to think of everything I added to it. Oh, tomatoes. So I take crushed tomatoes or diced tomatoes, just cans. I didn't do anything. Dumped 2 cans in there in the sauce, and then I let it cook for 3 to 4 hours. I turn it off, let it rest in there, nice and slow. I take 4 ladles, big ass ladles. I put them in and I dump them into a saucepan. I turn that on medium or low to medium heat. Like on my stove, it's a 4. Anyway, I have an electric stove. Put it on a 4, and I just let that sit there and reduce all the way down so it's a sauce. Then I mince up cilantro, and then I go get cabbage. Not just cabbage, but the coleslaw. I just take, we have a coleslaw. It's not a regular brand, but we have a coleslaw brand that has cabbage, red cabbage, carrots, anyway. And then I deep fry tortillas, right? So then I deep fry, I clean out the pan, put in fresh tortilla or fresh oil, put it in to the tortilla in there, deep fry it, and then I crisp it up, put the shredded beef on there, put the cilantro, put the cheese, put the cabbage, and then I take that sauce that I reduced all the way down. So it's this liquidy sauce, right? But I reduced it down so it's this thick sauce. It's this thick, rich, chili, beef, fucking just sauce. It drizzled over the top. Oh my God. I'm telling you, it's the most, yeah, Kayla hates, she won't eat a vegetable. She won't eat a vegetable. But you can do it with just cheese on there. Put the tomatoes on there. Put the Anaheim or the banana peppers on there, and then drizzle that with the sauce with the cheese. I'm telling you, and then squeeze lime over the top. Little salt. Get fucked. Literally the best shredded beef tacos I've ever had in my life. Even Kayla's like, "What did you do?" I'm like, "I know. All right, so back to this cat. So, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. I like the dude. Betasaurus Rex, get fucked. That's funny. That is absolutely amazing. Doss, how you doing, boss? So the scenario with this, guys. So here's the scenario with this. This guy, I mean, I do have to say, I respect him. I think he's misinformed, or he's trying to be different and create the conspiracy theories, not conspiracy, but off the track so that he's different than the prevailing theory. And I'm not saying that we know everything, because like I stated a little bit ago, the total amount of fossil record we have fits in the back of a truck. We don't have it. We don't have the missing link. We don't have a lot of what happened. I mean, Earth's a big fucking place. There's a lot of dirt, and we're talking millions upon millions of years. Yeah, I should have done it. I will be doing cooking videos 100%, and I should have done it last night. I truly should. With absolute certainty, I should have done it. But we got back. We had to take my stepsons to their dad's. They're there for the weekend. I had to take them back. We got back. I was hurting really bad. My leg was all jacked up. I had done something to it. Who knows? But yeah, I'm telling you, that right there was the best shredded beef taco I've ever had in my life. That's a long video. This isn't a bad video. Let's check this one out. What's this?
This stuff gets you so hot. I love it. It literally puts me in the best mood I could possibly be in.
Sponsored by my streaming service, Nebula.
Let's see what this is. This is, when did humans first leave Africa? So let's take a look at it. Let's see.
Sometime between 55 and 70,000 years ago, the ancestors of every single non-African person alive today left Africa to spread around the world.
I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna use
as
the
far as
restroom
we're
as
aware,
listen.
with the evidence
Hey,
we
that's
have.
where I live.
This
That's
is known as
literally where I
Out of
live,
Africa
right there,
2,
Monument
which
Valley.
is a terrible name because there were certainly many different migrations of Homo sapiens out of Africa at different times, not just two. We know this because some of our ancestors slept with Neanderthals 130,000 years ago, and there are also a few human remains that have been found outside the continent that predate that time. There were also undoubtedly migrations back into Africa. People moved freely. They didn't care which continent they lived in. They almost certainly didn't have a concept of that. But we have to call this movement of people something, and so Out of Africa 2 is the name we have for this
I know you're
movement.
here. So that right there right? What this guy just said, right? So humans came out of Africa. The 130. I thought it was like, yeah. I'd have to go back in and remember it, but 100% we interbred. 100%, like I said earlier, we're going from one to back and back up and back up and back up, and it's called the diffusion of culture, and it's the diffusion of genes as well. So the diffusion of culture means a culture starts in one little group, and then it diffuses out and is adopted based on does that work in their society. Genes are the exact same way. This gene started here, moved to here, introduced to Cro-Magnon and Neanderthals, and then they moved back, interbred. I mean, back in the day, everybody was fucking everybody.
Of our direct ancestors outside of the continent at that time. But if that's out of Africa 2, then what was out of Africa 1? At some point deep in prehistory, archaic humans, somewhat different to you and me, but similar in some very key ways, left Africa to spread around Eurasia, living a new life in wildly different environments to the one they left behind, evolving into different populations of hominins. When exactly was this migration? How many migrations were there? And who was doing the migrating are subject to huge debate. I've been looking at the earliest archaeological sites around Eurasia to try and answer this question. Let's look at the evidence.
This is one of the coolest shits I've ever seen.
It's the mid-1980s, during the dying days of the Soviet Union. Archaeologists had been excavating in and around the medieval cathedral of Dmanisi in southern Georgia, which, just look at that. It's an absolutely stunningly beautiful location. What started as a medieval excavation quickly shifted focus when they realized the builders, in creating the basements and foundations of the cathedral, had dug through layers containing extinct prehistoric animals. In 1991, the first human remains were found, and over the next 30 years, incredible relics of a bygone age have been pulled from the ancient dirt. In total, 5 skulls and 50 other hominin bones have been found, as well as 15,000 stone flakes and 900 artifacts. It really is one of the greatest archaeological sites in the entire world. Excavations are still ongoing. I'm sure it has more secrets to reveal. At 1.78 to 1.85 million years old, they are still, as far as I'm aware, the oldest human remains found outside of Africa. This sets our baseline for Out of Africa 1. For sure, without a shadow of a doubt, hominins had left by 1.8 million years ago. Because of the incredible preservation at Dmanisi, we get the clearest idea of who these early pioneers were and how they lived. The first thing to note is that they were relatively short and small-brained, with brain sizes between 610 and 775 cubic centimeters. That is about half the size of a modern human, about 400 cubic centimeters smaller than later Asian Homo erectus, and slightly smaller than Turkana Boy, the very famous Homo erectus fossil from Kenya, who would have had a cranial capacity of about 900 cubic centimeters, fully grown. The Dmanisi hominins also only stood around 1.5 meters tall, not absolutely massive. This is really interesting because before Dmanisi, anthropologists had believed only big-brained, long-legged hominins like Homo erectus were able to leave Africa and colonize Eurasia. But as we'll see, that was certainly not the case. Perhaps not surprisingly, for smaller-brained hominins, they produced Older One-style tools, the simplest form of stone tool our ancestors made, consisting of simple flakes and choppers. These really are quite simple compared to the bifacial tools produced by later humans. However, despite their small brains, despite their simple tools, these folks were not idiots. Of the 17,000 animal bones found at Dmanisi, every single one belongs to a Eurasian species. This is a really crucial point because one very popular idea has been that the first hominins to leave Africa were simply following their prey out of the continent whenever climatic conditions allowed. Yet Dmanisi shows that these ancient humans with their simple tools were able to adapt to new environments, new prey. They weren't stuck following African animals, following the niche they had carved out. Archaeologists believe the region might have been occupied for 80,000 years, so the population was seemingly quite stable. This was no doubt helped by humanity's greatest ability. You guys have got to check this out, because this is, in my opinion, the coolest find from Dmanisi. This is a cranium D3444 and the jaw D3900, I believe. They're a matching set from the same person. As you can see, this person is kind of old, and they only have one tooth. I believe that little nub in there is the last piece of tooth that they had. This isn't a result of the preservation of the fossil or anything like that. They lived like this. We can tell that because the sockets for the teeth have been reabsorbed into the jaw. There's no little holes there for the teeth. So they lived like this for a while, gumming their food, gumming their woolly rhino up. It's probably not easy to live your life like that, especially when they're probably not doing that much cooking. Maybe they're doing no cooking at all. Probably would have been quite a hard life for them. But they lived for a long time. They lived for a long time with this condition, which shows that even way back then, 1.85 million years ago, humans were starting to be really super cooperative. And that is ultimately our strength. That is ultimately the reason, I believe, why we have expanded across the entire planet and achieved everything we've achieved, because we can work together, we can communicate, we can share information, share loads of information. This skull, this toothless skull, we can really see in this person's lack of teeth the start of humanity, the start of
to be able to do that, right? To be able to chew food. I don't know if dogs are my favorite animal, but chimps, dolphins, pigs, horses are a close second. Snakes are alive. Fuck snakes. Fuck that. We got rattlers everywhere around here. Fuck that shit. I ain't doing snakes, dude. I don't do snakes. I don't do spiders. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Everything I agree on, and I agree with the fucking snakes. They can kiss my ass.
Humanity's greatest strength. I really believe that. There's been a lot of debates as to how...
Here's a scenario, though. I don't know if you guys... So then, obviously, people help this person, but I'm going to, again, make an argument. I don't know if you guys have tried to eat raw oats or raw meat or raw vegetables. They're all hard as shit. And if you don't have teeth, you don't eat raw. Homo habilis, which is about this time, had fire. Without fire, that person doesn't live. 100%. 100% that person, this group of individuals, I always mess up the name, Dmanisi. They're hominids. They're not humanoids. They're hominins. And they literally had fire and they cooked their food. That's how that person lived. Without the cooking, without water, boiling food, boiling meats, boiling vegetables, boiling nuts, grains, whatever they had at that time, 100%.
We should categorize the Dmanisi hominins. Should they be called Homo erectus, or maybe Homo georgicus, maybe something else? In my opinion, these labels are not super important. What is important is that they show that 1.85 million years ago, small-brained hominins using very simple tools were leading very social lives and were capable of adapting to different environments outside of Africa.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Were these hominins really the descendants of the first migration out of the continent? Elsewhere, subtle clues have been emerging that could push back the first migration of hominins outside of the continent by hundreds of thousands of years.
And at that time I said to him, he doesn't have a driver's license, he just has a permit. And it was at that point that he had told me.
Strangely, for a video about the earliest migration out of Africa, our next site is 9,000 kilometers away on the Indonesian island of Flores, and much more recently in time, roughly 80,000 years ago. Homo floresiensis, discovered in 2003, is one of the most controversial discoveries in the history of human evolution. Standing at just 1 meter tall, weighing about
dwarfs.
30 kilograms, with a cranial capacity of 426 cubic centimeters, this tiny
So one of the dynamics that I've argued since I've been in school, or when I was in school, I should say, is you can't argue the cranial capacity of any species. You have to argue the cranial capacity based on body size, right? You have to take their body size and then determine how big is it. Because just because they had a 426 cubic cc cranial capacity doesn't mean they're stupid. Right? It just means, but based upon their height size, they're like 3 feet fucking tall. They're literally like 3 feet tall. But they're at 400, where our average size is 5'10", 5'9" now. So almost double. They're pretty goddamn smart.
population of ancient humans has generated a lot of debate. So far, there have been 3 main ideas as to who they were. First, that Homo floresiensis is derived from Asian Homo erectus, who is well known from the neighboring island of Java, but as yet unknown on Flores. Their small stature is believed to be a result of island dwarfism, a phenomenon where large...
So one of the things with islands, and they actually, there's an elephant, and I forget the island that it's on, but so when you're on an island, and I lived on Orcas Island in the Pacific Northwest, just south of Victoria, BC, British Columbia Island. And the deer there are substantially smaller than they are here. The deer where I live now, here in southeastern Utah, next to the Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona border, I've got deer the size of goddamn trucks. They're massive deer. The elk are ridiculous. People come here to hunt every year. That's why I was working all day today. But on an island, the food sources are smaller. You have limited food sources. So naturally, the bigger elephant, so take an elephant or take a big animal, there's not enough subsistence. There's not enough sustenance to sustain long-term growth of this big-ass animal, so they naturally shrink down, and the environment selects for smaller people because they need less to eat. Therefore, the bigger ones die off. The smaller ones, again, survival of the fittest, reproductive fitness, they are able to reproduce because they're living, because they don't need as much food source. So an elephant, I don't know what the elephant's diet is, but let's just say it's berries and grasses. And you got a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 8,000, 10,000 pound animal. That son of a bitch has to eat 2,000 pounds a day just to live. There's not enough substance there for that strategy, for that subsistence strategy. So the environment is selected for smaller ones. I just found multiple squirrels. If they found multiple squirrels, different, with no teeth, their place. If they found multiple skulls with no teeth, sockets in different places, I would believe that more. But just one example. Maybe it was just the dude didn't have teeth. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how smart, because dinosaurs was massive, right? They were massive, but they did have small brain capacity. Like their brain cavity was extremely small. And so you're talking, so take like an elephant. The elephant capacity is massive, but their body's massive. But compared to a dinosaur, the dinosaur, I remember this from school, the dinosaur, like take a T-Rex, if you were to take brain capacity of an elephant on its size, a T-Rex would have to be 120 feet tall, right? 120 feet tall to equal the brain capacity of an elephant.
Large animals tend to decrease in size when isolated on small islands. It also happened to these little prehistoric elephants. Shout out to them.
There's the elephants. There's
Second, that it represents a population of modern humans that suffered from some sort of genetic condition. Thirdly, and crucially for this video, that they are a distinct species that derived from an early lineage of Homo, before Homo erectus. Of these three theories, the idea that they were modern humans with some sort of genetic condition has not stood up to scrutiny.
No.
But the question remains, did they descend from Homo erectus, or perhaps an even earlier hominin? In this 2017 study, which as far as I'm aware is the most recent on the subject, a dataset of 133 different hominin species from throughout our evolution was analyzed to find the closest relative of Homo floresiensis. The results supported two possible conclusions.
This is new to me.
First, that Homo floresiensis is a sister taxon to Homo habilis.
Okay.
Homo habilis is a notoriously tough species to define. They're larger brain than the Australopiths, but physically still quite short, just over a meter tall. They made older one style tools, very simple stuff. Basically, this would place the origins of Homo floresiensis right back to the very transition from Australopithecines into early Homo. The other possibility is that Homo floresiensis was part of a basal clade that included Homo floresiensis, Homo erectus, Homo ergaster, Homo sapiens. In other words, they're part of the ancestral population of early Homo that existed way before larger-brained humans evolved. In either case, according to this research, Homo floresiensis apparently split from the rest of the Homo lineage extremely long ago, at least 1.75 million years ago. They were not, according to these results, Homo erectus that suffered from island dwarfism.
What's up, DK?
Island dwarfism may still have played some role in their diminutive stature. They also could rule out Homo floresiensis being a close relative of the hominins found at Dmanisi. Obviously, all this information is subject to huge change. We could find more Homo floresiensis remains that give us a clearer picture of their anatomy, but as it stands at the minute, they have some really archaic features. This suggests that there were multiple waves of really archaic hominins outside of Africa.
You and me both, dude.
First, the population that led to the group at Dmanisi, and the population that led to Homo floresiensis. But other than their anatomy, are there any other signs anywhere else in the world of a super early migration of hominins outside of Africa? I think there are. And this is where it gets
what you got.
Tricky.
Let's see what you got, dude. This is so cool. I love this shit. How do I skip this ad? Oh, skip that ad.
China has an incredibly rich archaeological record from the Lower Paleolithic. Definitely one of the richest outside Africa. Currently, the oldest confirmed human remains from China is the Gongwangling cranium from Lantian. At the minute, it is assigned to Homo erectus and dates to 1.63 million years ago. Extremely ancient indeed, but after the population at Dmanisi. However, a new site may push back the hominin arrival in China significantly. Archaeologists, again working in the Lantian region, recently unearthed a site that was sporadically occupied for over a million years. No human remains, but instead stone tools, the oldest of which dates to an astounding 2.12 million years ago. Hundreds of thousands of years before the hominins at Dmanisi, but right in the ballpark for Homo habilis, or early Homo. Again, these are very simple stone tools, older one style tools, similar to contemporary tools from Africa, Dmanisi, and the type of tools the Homo floresiensis produced. Although these small rocks are not as exciting as human remains, that is fair to say, someone had to make them. It is still evidence of humans out of Africa. Over in Jordan, archaeologists have found older one tools dating to 2.48 million years ago. Jordan, in the grand scheme of things, is obviously pretty close to Africa. And I think more and more, as anthropologists find more sites, more fossils,
you bet your hot ass
really
it's gonna
starting
happen.
to include Western Asia
I'm
alongside
this big,
Africa as a key region of human development, human evolution. It seems that hominins are in and out of the region really frequently, which makes sense. They are neighbors. But still, 2.48 million years ago is really long ago. Australopithecines were still around at that time, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, they were.
This is
100%.
really at the very beginnings of the evolution of Homo. And it's a sign that these small-brained hominins are pushing the boundaries, pushing the limits of their environment and where they can live and how they can adapt. It really raises loads of questions about their capabilities. But incredibly, that's not even the oldest site we're going to talk about today. This last site was actually the inspiration behind this whole video. So I've been working on a video on South Asia for 3 or 4 months now, interviewing lots of experts from all around the world on this really interesting topic. Hopefully it's going to be out in
We're going to find this guy's information. I'm
whilst I was chatting to Indian archaeologist Gopesh Jha, he mentioned this really early site.
I think that is also Paleo-Mag, if I'm not wrong. So that date basically comes from Masol, the site near Chandigarh in the lower Shivalik regions. There's evidence of 2.58 or more than actually 2.5 is a younger range of date.
Okay, so what was Gopesh talking about there? Well, let's look at a map quickly. So here you have Flores and Java down here, where we know ancient hominins were certainly living. Homo erectus, Homo floresiensis. To get to there from Africa, they basically had 3 options. One was to hug the coast of South Asia and go around like that. They almost certainly did that. There's a very early site from southern India called Atarampakam. No human remains, but some stone tools that are dated to, I believe, 1.5 million years ago. So about contemporary to the population of Dmanisi. We also had hominins in the far south of India. The other route they could have taken was over around the top of the Himalayas. Probably a very difficult route to take. I imagine if they tried that, then there are the remains of some unlucky hominins buried somewhere in the Himalayas. But we do have a lot of hominins from China, so that's a possibility. Or they could have just done a straight shot through modern Pakistan, through India, through Bangladesh.
Okay, there's no way. Now, I don't know if you guys know anything about currently right now. There's a reason why nobody can invade Afghanistan and Pakistan. Right? There's a reason why Russia tried to invade Afghanistan in the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and they couldn't get the dog fed. Because you can't get over the fucking mountains. You can't get over that place. There's no way on God's green earth you're getting that route is ever being taken. So the scenario is during the ice ages, there's been several. Heating, warming, cooling, everything. It just has happened. This shoreline, you got to understand from this point, I don't know if you guys, can you guys see this on my map? Can you guys see? You guys can't see. Oh, you can't see my cursor. That sucks. But if you look on your map on the left side, by Mumbai, take it out into the ocean on that continental. It's called the continental shelf. That's that ridge, that light blue that you see. The ocean at the time, yeah, exactly. But this continental shelf was all exposed. It was all exposed all the way through this 2 million years, 3 million years ago. 100% was.
Down into Asia
so they didn't
that way.
No way.
So with that in mind, archaeologists were excavating this region where India meets
look at
Nepal,
the Himalayas.
the Sivalik range of hills, I believe it is called. And they found some pretty intriguing stuff, some very old, very intriguing stuff. Whilst sifting through almost 1,500 fossils, a joint French and Indian team of archaeologists found 3 bones in particular which had multiple cut marks on them. They recreated the cut marks using stone from the site, and they are confident that these were not caused by animal teeth. They hypothesized that animals were being scavenged by ancient humans, perhaps after they had already died in floods, which seems to have been a major geological action in the area. 3 bones with cut marks is not a lot. It's true, can't be denied. However, the team points out that from Java, where we have very good evidence of hominin activity for well over 1 million years, we have only found 5 bones with cut marks on them. So they do consider this to be statistically significant. Whether or not these truly were made by humans, and I don't see any reason to believe that they weren't, we do have to keep in mind that the very earliest migration out of Africa is going to leave a very subtle archaeological trace. We have to keep our eyes and our minds open for very small clues.
I like this dude.
I've been trying to end this video so many times. I just can't think of the words to sum up how I feel. So, but what can we say about Out of Africa 1, this first movement of hominins outside of the continent? Well, as for when it happened, seemingly at least 2.5 million years ago, according to the evidence from Jordan.
Just so you guys know, there's hominins, which hominins are relatively close to our species, and then there's hominids. Those are actually fucking genus Homo.
Maybe even earlier than that, 2.6 million years ago, if those cut marks on those bones in India were really made by a hominin. As for who was doing the migrating that we really have evidence for, well, small-brained hominins, early Homo, before the evolution of Homo erectus, or at least the very earliest beginnings of Homo erectus, with brains a third of the size of ours, making simple, older one-style stone tools. And yet, despite this, despite their small brain size, despite their smaller body size, they're adapting to non-African environments, hunting different prey, living in much colder regions like Dmanisi, moving to as far as Southeast Asia, island Southeast Asia.
Dude. What a brilliant video.
As evidenced by
this guy's
the
fucking,
body
this guy
of
like
Homo
this dude.
floresiensis. And as evidenced by Gummy Joe, they're able to help each other. They're looking after each other. Some hominins are living to an old age, and they're probably being helped by members of their community. I suspect somebody was chewing that person's food for them, which is pretty grim. But great evidence of cooperation, man, if you're willing to do that.
Well, maybe they were chewing it for him. Maybe. I mean, I think that's speculation, because I do know for a fact, or I wouldn't say I know, because I haven't researched. I wasn't willing to kind of, but I've read enough articles on that Homo habilis could manage fire, and without fire, we are not what we are, and that person does not live. Maybe somebody was fucking gnawing on some food, and here you go.
That for someone. Blimey, you must really love them. These hominins were persistent, though, on Flores. Isolated from the happenings of the rest of the world, they persisted until 50,000 years ago, or their descendants persisted until 50,000 years ago, when they ran into the descendants of Out of Africa 2, our ancestors. There's something so poetic about that. It's just two paths separating 2 million years ago, and then reconnecting
that's funny, dude.
on a tiny island in Indonesia. It's just the perfect illustration of how tangled and wild a journey human evolution is. I really love it. I've been trying to end this video so many times because I can't find the words to adequately express how I feel about that.
I love it. I love this dude. I love this dude.
It's just fascinating. It's just fascinating. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I'm working on a special video right now about a particularly important plant in human development, and it's just not a great fit for YouTube for reasons that I don't need to go into. Fortunately, I can whack it on my streaming service Nebula, absolute banger of a service, run by the tippy top best educational YouTubers. I'm going to be throwing up a whole series on there, hopefully starting in November, about some particularly popular pastimes in the ancient world. It should be an absolute banger.
That would be fun. That would be fun to watch.
I've been wanting to make it for a long time, but on YouTube it just doesn't work. You can get Nebula for just $3 a month or $30 a year.
Yeah, we're going to let that
it's
go
an
right
absolute
there
bargain
because
at any price.
Not
I got
doing
it.
it. What's this guy? Stefan Milio? I'm subscribing. Guys, I would highly recommend it if you like that kind of shit. I do. Stefan Milio. It looks like Stefan Milio Savicevic. I would highly recommend it. Highly recommend this dude. Wow, that was a great video. What a great, well thought out, nice, good video. He did well. He did well. Fish die, right? Don't try it. What a great video. I thought it was great. I thought it was great. All right. Let's get to doing some killing. I know that some people are on. Got about an hour to play. Let's go. Yeah, they're all going to be playing that Modern Warfare. I'm not buying Modern Warfare. That's not going to happen. Modern Warfare 2. I know he's playing. I know what he's doing. He's probably playing with G Money. Probably playing with Boost. Maybe. No, Boost not on. I'm gonna invite her because I invite her like every time. She never joins, but whatever. We gotta find a friend. Activision account. MFNTANGO. Number 918 9083 9083. I don't know if you are here, DK. Are you getting on? God, it's like 8:30. Those kids should be in bed. Little demons. He's playing with J-Dub. Oh, DOS is up in that motherfucker. Okay. He's playing Caldera. Pre-game she is. All right. G Money. I know he's in. I think I sent you a friend request. Are you on? Are you on, W? Or did you accept my friend request? Mine literally is Farilla Gorilla. See, I don't have shit afterwards. It says #0, but it's literally just Farilla Gorilla. I don't see you, boss. Yeah, they're still playing. I won't. It's still loading up. Okay, that's fair. Now I have 35 friends on. There you are. Hello? Hello?
Gorilla?
What's up, dude? What's up, Dub? Man, just fucking big pimping, baby. How you doing?
Hey, that was fun going through all those videos and stuff.
Oh, dude, I
like nerding out.
Dude, I could literally do it all night. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just a dumbass. I don't really have anybody that's not playing the Modern Warfare.
Yeah, everybody's on Warfare 2.
All right, well, shit. Do you like the Fortune's Keep, the Rebirth? Do you like the Battle of the Big Dick map? What do you like?
I really prefer the 2 smaller maps. But
all right, let's go get it. We'll go get a little duo action. Turn that motherfucker up. Holy shit, this is the first time we played. Mark this shit down in history.
Shoot, yeah.
I've
been jealous. I think Russia's played with you like 3 or 4 times, and I'm like, man, I want to get in some games. Gorilla's lit. Gorilla's lit.
Fucking just an old drunk fucker half the time, but man, I have a good time
full
doing
send.
it. Let's go. Let's full send that shit. Let's go. We'll figure it out when we get there. Oh man. So now, where are you from, Dub?
Western Kentucky.
That's right. That's right. You told me that the other night. Probably was drinking, so you got to bear with me.
Oh, it's all good. You ever heard of Land Between the Lakes?
Mm-hmm.
Largest man-made lakes?
Yes.
Beautiful out here.
Is that where you live?
Yep, I can walk down the street to the lake.
Nice. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh yeah, I love that they're allowing me to have my UGR up in this motherfucker, baby. This gun is so nasty. Have you tried that? Have you rocked it yet?
That's one I've not messed with. I think I got it unlocked.
Dude, I'm telling you right
now. You
now.
didn't have to do anything to unlock it, right?
I don't have the answer to that. I just know I started mine at level 5, and I still am rocking it. Pretty much the same thing of level 5 outside of the scope, the reflector.
Now, when does Warzone end? Is that like a week or 2?
The 16th is when November 16th is when.
I'm scared. What if the new one sucks? What if they mess it up?
Yeah, they probably will. They'll fix it though. They'll get the feedback. One thing about Activision, they're pretty good at getting at it. All right, boss, where you want to go?
You marked it.
I don't play this map much, so this is your rodeo, big dog.
For bounty. We got a buy station. There's a secondary bounty.
Copy that. Let's go get him over there on the terraces. Got
like me some terraces.
God damn it, Cletus.
Resurgence. All right, soldier.
Let's go get him, baby. I'm a little bit on the holy fuck. I've been drinking some.
I'm rusty. I haven't played this. We've been playing Big Map. That's what I was trying to get in before it's done. Even though everybody says they hate the Big Map. I like action. That's why I like these small maps.
Sure.
By the time we find somebody on a big map, I've already gotten bored of the gap that we're supposed to shoot with.
Ooh, I'm down for the Krieg.
Lodi.
A Gold Krieg if that's your cup of tea. I like that grab.
Can we go grab Lodi?
Yeah, let's do it.
Grab some. Well, we got extra footsteps. It's the other way. It's not the spot. Yeah. I knew I heard somebody. Now you got to buy. I'm going left. In the church. Nowhere.
He worked me. He fucking deleted me. Wow.
I feel like he's hiding in these doors. There he is. Buddy out here soon.
It's all on you until squad mates redeploy.
I'm gonna reset.
Bounty target is down.
This is because I know there's loot here.
One of your allies is back in the game.
Money going. Oh no, I'm not. This guy's down here. Yeah, he ran around the side. I'm getting pushed by second team. Second team here.
Solid work so far. Squad member is redeployed. Got a loadout drop inbound.
I got him spotted. He's climbed up. Sniping.
Oh, whoa! Whoa! Wait a minute.
There's 3 enemies. That's
Yeah, that guy should have been dead as fuck, and I couldn't, for some reason, my controller would not literally put on and get on him at all.
Oh well. Got the high ground on him.
We're returning you to the front line. Go get them.
Where are they at?
One up here with us by the 4-wheeler, and then the rest are still down low. Got a proxy on the zippy. Those guys might take the tunnel.
There's one in the tunnel over here. He's firing the guys over here.
Launcher marked.
Our loadout's a single box. There's somebody shooting nearby it.
Yeah, I already got our loading.
You have a loadout? Go
Yeah,
for it.
I did it.
We'll drop your cash just in case. They're shooting our team that we were shooting at.
Okay.
Recon's inbound.
UAV
Ooh, nice.
giving flyover. Gas is moving.
They're both underneath. They just got a buy station. I'll shoot this.
Enemy UAV.
Ah,
Enemy UAV.
he got to the buy.
UAV is out of fuel.
He left an
Turning for
airstrike
resupply.
though.
Throwing grenade. It's over.
I don't really want to go down there.
I'm not going down that
Good shot in the back.
He's right here below you. Coming up right now. He's broken.
You got a buddy? Buddy down.
I did not want to come down, but apparently I am.
I got Rambo. Oh, he's putting himself.
The operation is over. What do you think? Revenge is a dish best served with hot lead. Squad member is redeployed.
You gonna make it out of there?
Oh, yeah.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone highlighted.
Where you come up at? I will try to use it.
Buy station costs are adjusted.
Honestly, think we are okay here. I don't. Anybody?
Throwing grenade.
Want a bounty? Want that big game bounty?
Whatever you feel, brother. There's plates. There's everything over here. Like I got 20 plates over here. On this building right here.
Stay vigilant. Resurgence window is about to close.
Want some of this rage serum? It's gonna be loud.
I'm trying to get there.
Got a spy station. We gotta run.
I can't get up there? Really? I'm gonna die down here.
Gas moving in.
Frag out.
There's 17 left. Sounds like one's pushing you, maybe? Right behind you.
Throwing grenade.
Let's get in right here. I'm gonna throw a buy station and get a UAV.
Money's out. Right behind you.
You got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated. Allied UAV.
Throwing grenade.
Down one. I got a plate up.
Kill.
Bounty target is down. Marvelous.
Yeah, get him, bro. Nice. They're all on the other side of the surface. I think we should probably fight this side, I guess. Let them fight.
Yeah, I got a balloon. That's fucking huge.
We want to play the
18 right.
wall? I don't know. Get stuck in the wall.
Throwing grenade.
Team at the top. Call a ceiling.
Okay, we're looking for 4 and 6. So we're 4 and 6. So we're looking for 4 and 4 or 3 and 4. So solos, 2 solos, and duo. Okay, balloon out. Right here.
You want to try to push those guys?
Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. I gotta reset
there.
Stay sharp.
Oh yeah, he's on the edge.
I tried to land on the fucking ridge and it didn't work out for me.
Come on, buddy. I got a gas mask. I'm going for the buy station.
Yeah. What do you think?
As long as they don't see me. Come on. no.
You must stay alive
That was
until
dumb. I was
reinforcements
going for
arrive.
UAV.
You're losing ground. Move it.
Belated. One other enemy besides those two guys.
Calling for airstrike on my target.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Gas is right on your tail.
2v1. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that well, that's unfortunate that cluster took my plates. I win then if it doesn't. Damn it. That was my bad, man. I didn't think that cluster would hurt me from there. I thought, oh, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see, he's playing that. He's playing that. Let's see. Let's check the scores. I haven't even checked the scores, brother. I'm not offline. There we go. I'm just giving a couple of good boys a chance to join us. Play with his fucking hot ass. Did you buy the game, W?
Oh yeah, Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, I'm a dumbass.
Yeah, I was watching it, and I thought about it, man, and I'm like, $70 for fucking 19 days. Tennessee's working the shit out of Kentucky.
Hey,
Marcus, what's up, big
Figured
dog?
they would.
what's up, big homie?
Man, we
Go
just
on.
running.
Let's go.
Yeah, we just running some.
Yeah.
We running some little map. You good with that?
Hey, I'm with it, whatever, man. I was just at the house chilling, man.
Dude, how's beautiful Louisiana?
Oh, it's good, man, right now. A little rainy today, but it
There
ain't too
you go.
bad. Yep.
I'm just trying to find one more person so we can get into. I like Rebirth better than I like Fortune's Keep, but I'll play what the fuck ever.
Yeah.
What's Outlaw doing? Is he playing with SoCal still?
Yeah, he was playing Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, we're gonna let that go.
Tango, what up, partner?
What up, man? What's the drink of the night?
Man, I was just finna finish up my game of Plunder and go get some. And then Ferilla invited me, so I guess.
All right, we're going trio quads. Let's do it. Shit, go get a drink. Go get yourself some. Hold on, I'll wait. Go pour yourself something special.
You're gonna have to run to the store.
I gotta run to the store. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
you
gonna
gotta
be
go
like-
to the store. Shit.
He's an emergency
Hey.
situation.
Dude.
Let me make a run to the store. Y'all go run. Let me make a run to the store. I'll send an invite when I get back.
Yeah, all right. That sounds good, big dog. Let's do it.
All right. You know I got a drink, man.
I got you. I know. I got my fucking guy. I went to the store before I started the game. I'm like, I gotta go to the liquor store. I went and got me 2 bottles of gin, some Gatorade. I'm ready for the
Okay.
Tangerade. I'm ready. I'm good. I got fucking chew.
Hell
I'm good.
yeah.
Shit, I'm a thinker.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm finna go get me two big bottles, and I'll be right back.
All right, big dog, man. We'll be here, baby. We'll be here, dog.
Already.
Yes, sir. I fucking love that dude. I do. I love that guy.
He's fun.
Oh, dude, he's so good.
So much fun.
He'll be the first to tell you he's not the greatest at the game, and I don't give a fuck. Like, I just don't care. Like, I played with the Sweats, and I'm like, oh, fuck, this isn't that much fun because they take it serious, right? I'm like, fuck it, dude. Let's pour a lot of drinks and have a lot of fun.
Dewan will stay with you, too, and stay alive. Like, that's all I need.
Yeah, let's go.
Pick me up whenever I get my face shot off for...
Right?
You know
Oh, whoa, you got to go check that UGR. Hold on. Just create a class with that UGR. If you got it. It's a Modern Warfare gun. Yeah, check it out. I'm telling you, dude, it deletes. It literally is gross. It's so gross.
I need to make a CX-9.
I've ran into CX-9 twice.
What is the UGR?
It's a SMG. And literally, I had mine at level 5.
Let's see what we got. Mine's level 1.
Okay, you might run into some problems there.
Try it. See what's up.
I just don't think I want to.
Yeah, like 2 weeks. 2 weeks that we can work on it.
Dude, this gun is gross. It's so gross. We're talking like $5 prostitute on a Hollywood and Vine. That kind of gross. Like $10 on Vegas.
As fast as possible. I like high fire rates and.
It's not the fastest. It's not the fastest fire rate. But if you throw it on their throat to their head, like mid chest to throat, it's over. Like I literally have ran into the CX-9 twice today, earlier. Deleted them. The CX-9 couldn't even compete with what I did.
Nice. Well, yeah, I want that.
And the ADS is, as soon as I hit my trigger, it's on. Like the ADS is on them. So what I do is I always hit my fire button first, and then my ADS button.
Oh, you're pre-fired.
Oh, dude! Anytime I see somebody, my right trigger is the very first thing. Unless I've been drinking, and then that's a problem. All right, let's go do it again, baby. Man, I knew the Michigan State game was going to be a tight one. I thought it'd be tight through 3 quarters. Michigan's 10-7. They're in Ann Arbor. I think Michigan will win it, but I think it's going to be through 3 quarters. I think it's going to be like a 17-10, 17-14 through 3 quarters. And then I think it'll end up being... then I think in the 4th quarter, I think Michigan will pull away. I think it'll be like a 31-17 game afterwards.
Not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind watching State win that one.
No, I'm a Michigan fan. I've got to be. I grew up a Michigan fan. Back when fucking Captain Comeback Jimmy Harbaugh was there. Dan Biaka.
I think that is the better Harbaugh for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't like the NFL Harbaugh.
And I find it interesting that Jim didn't do well. I mean, he did do well. He just rubbed people the wrong way, but fuck it.
Check your gear and weapons. We go soon.
Oh, I might have to switch over to Twitch. I'm feeling Eminem. After this game, I'm gonna probably switch it. It really sucks that I can't.
What, you trying to go back to Mouse Keys or something?
No. Switch over to Twitch so that I can listen to my music. I love my music when I'm fucking drinking, vibing, hanging out, partying it up, baby.
YouTube's all about the strikes.
They be shutting my shit down. They shut my stream down. All right, where we going, big dog? Talk to me, dude. Goose.
I mean, I really love terraces, but I'll go.
Let's go. Let's go. You just tell me where to go. You just tell me where to go, and I'm gonna get my hot ass there.
Get to the safe zone.
Get us another bounty.
Liv and your KIA teammates will redeploy.
Don't let everybody land before I grab
Exploit
that.
worthy actions will return them to combat quicker. Bad target identified. Have a look. Kill all targets. Enemy radar jammer detected in your area.
Oh boy. I landed in a shitstorm over here.
I wouldn't have done that, but nah, I'm in the middle of it. No, I want that gun back.
Enemy radar jammer detected in your
We
area.
got multiple teams here with us.
Enemy UAV active.
Good shooting. He got shot. He's got orange pants and a vest right up above you. Oh, there's two of them.
Squad member is redeploying.
Oh, he's right above me. Oh my god. Wow, dude. I literally am smacking the shit out of I have a street sweeper. I'm literally smacking the shit out of it. It will not fucking stop. It won't fire. It would not fire. The guy's right in front of my face. I'm like fucking hitting it. He turns and runs. His boyfriend comes around. Nothing. Oh well.
There's probably three teams here. I'm gonna fall back.
Recon's inbound.
Getting flyover.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of teams here. Let them thin out just a little. No, I don't pick up shotguns.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Vest at the bottom if you need a vest. I got a buy station for us. We got money.
Okay.
Coming up.
Enemy UAV active.
Gas mask.
Someone.
Hey, here's my. Oh, you got plenty. I'm gonna go grab that Sachi. I think that's worth it.
Loadout drop headed your way. Only
Dropping cash if you want a UAV.
Spotting some heavy loadout drop on the way.
Let's try this UGR. Level 1.
Alright. I'm gonna kind of hold it.
Inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Camp ready.
Go stop us. dropping into the area. Watch
On the roof. To the left. He's gonna south. Dropping down. Gonna hit some boxes, get some little more. Something.
Killed his buddy.
Recon here.
Buddy went to the
UAV
res.
beginning flyover. Enemy
We
UAV
feel like
active.
taking here. We got guy out there going.
We can get to right here, and that's a decent spot, I believe.
UAV is out of fuel. Returning for resupply.
Satchel here.
Marking arm.
Enemy UAV active.
I'm gonna get on the roof and check
Throwing
out our
grenade.
next move. We might be able to take gatehouse. Oh, they get shot in the back. Right behind us.
If you go down now, the operation is over.
That's the guy we were killing at Keith earlier.
Gonna mess with your squad. Squad member is
Screen
redeploying.
mask.
We should make for the safe zone.
Enemy UAV active.
Throwing grenade. Throwing grenade.
Swiss up. I think I'm doing it.
You got gas inbound.
The other
Safe
right
zone
here.
relocated.
Moving
Wait
right
for
at that mark.
Enemy
He's now
UAV
over here.
active. Buy station costs are adjusted.
Worth it for us to go to the buy station.
AT mine primed.
6 teams.
AT mine primed.
Somebody's doing some killing. This is a big circle for
Enemy
6
UAV
teams.
active. Enemy advanced UAV overhead. Enemy advanced UAV overhead. Be mindful. Enemy UAV active.
Oh, I got 2 targets.
Resurgence is about to end. Keep your head on a swivel.
They just dropped down the hole at Grotto.
Okay, here's some money.
Prices are back to normal.
Good stuff, something nice. Just in case we get there, right?
Only 10 are left.
How far is that by?
Vendor marked.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna get a shite.
The team will probably be crawling up into the
Throwing grenade.
hut over here.
We need recon here.
UAV beginning flyover.
We should make
I
for
got
the safe
hard
zone.
line. There we go.
Yeah, you and me both.
It's discounts. UAV going up.
Allied UAV overhead.
Off to our right.
Them down.
There he is. He's broken down below us. There's another one over here. He's down. I've got a
Fucking
fight.
winery. I can't see him. He's down low. Ooh. Still just in time. plated him. He's behind the wagon.
Gas is moving in. New safe zone highlighted.
They're gonna be coming from our right.
One crossing the road. He went to the house.
Buy back in front of us.
7 enemies. Man, they all gotta be just camping inside winery.
Throwing grenade.
Yeah.
Enemy UAV active. Enemy dropping into the
Behind
AO.
us, behind us.
You're being tracked by an enemy team. Tread
He
carefully.
ran left. He ran in front of you. I saw him. He's over here. In the gas, right here. There's 2 of them there.
Oh man, this thing, it's got a good fire rate. Up again.
He's down.
Plated. Grenade out.
Another one left. Rotating left.
Grabbing this growl.
Throwing grenade.
I don't know where my original kill went.
He didn't die, did he?
No. Rotating left and checking this side here. Using this wall.
Frag out.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone. Only 5 left. Gas is moving.
Here are the 3 threats. They're right here.
My threat's on the left side. I'm rotating in.
Frag out.
Got a muni box if you need it.
No, I'm good. They're here though.
AT mine primed.
Gas is moving in. New
Yeah,
safe
let's
zone
grab that
highlighted.
muni box.
Muni out.
Gas moving in.
There's one running above me.
Allied cluster strike
There's work
arriving.
to do. Frag out.
To my left. They're going left. They're going left.
Hang on, I got a cluster right here. I got a plate. We got 2 enemies left.
Throwing grenade.
Yes, I'm gonna grab.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Right above me.
Both of them are over here.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
And 1.
Let's go.
Get hunted.
Nice job. Great fucking job, Dub.
Jeez. To be fair, we should have had that first game. I was a little rusty.
Ah, it's all gravy. Shit.
Got stacks of dubs.
That's right, baby. Where's DeMarcus? There he is.
You aren't kidding. Level 1 UGR was melting fools.
Oh, dude, it's gross. It's just, like, literally, it's gross. Alright. I'm going to switch over to Twitch so I can vibe to my music on a Saturday night getting drunk.